Today we're going to go over some painting techniques that are going to help your paintings look more realistic. This worksheet is one of two. In order to make your paint look more realistic, we want to learn these techniques because it will help you with color mixing. First thing that you're going to need after your worksheet is your paint palette. Your paint palette should have the three primary colors as well as black and white for this worksheet. You really only need your paint to be about the size of a quarter. You don't need a lot of paint at this point. You want a water cup that is partly filled with water. It does not have to be full all the way. And you're also going to want some paper towels and obviously a paintbrush. When you get your worksheet, the first thing you should do is put your name on it. With 200 students doing the same worksheet, we want to make sure that you're getting graded for the one that you did. Next, over here, it says that you're going to use the primary colors. At this point in your artistic career, you should be able to know the primary colors at any point, which are red, yellow, and blue. This should also look familiar to you. This is a color wheel. You should have been doing the color wheel since you were in kindergarten. If you have not seen this before, you're in for a treat because this color wheel is very important in art. So you're going to start here with our large circles, and you're going to paint your primary colors in those large circles. Doesn't matter what order you do it in, as long as your primary colors are in the large circles. Okay. Next, we have our secondary colors. The beauty of the color wheel is that it tells you exactly what happens when you mix two colors. So if I mix yellow and red, I am expected to get what color? Orange. Orange is a secondary color. If I mix red and blue, I am expected to get this secondary color, which is purple or violet. And lastly, if I mix yellow and blue, I'm going to get this secondary color, which is green. I'm going to start with red and blue. Red and blue are both relatively strong colors. So you're going to take a scoop of red and a scoop of blue and mix them together to about an even, about 50-50. Okay, and I'm going to put purple down on my paper. Now yellow is a very weak color, so whenever I'm mixing yellow, I need a lot more yellow than any other color. So I'm going to take one scoop of red, and it's not a lot, it's just the tip of my brush, and I'm going to mix that in with a lot of yellow to get an orange. And I'm going to put that right here between my red and yellow. Same thing goes when you're mixing yellow and blue. Take one scoop of blue, mix it in with a lot of yellow, and you get a green. Notice that I'm trying to keep my palette as clean as possible. I didn't use up all of my yellow because I know that I'm going to need it in future steps. So these three colors are our secondary colors. We still have some circles left over to fill. Those are called tertiary or intermediate colors. And those are your hyphenated colors. Red, orange, red violet, blue green. Those are the colors that you get by mixing a primary and a secondary color. So now if I want to take this green and make a yellow green, I'm just going to add more yellow to what I already have and put my yellow green in there. There should be a very distinct difference between those colors. Here, if I want to make yellow orange, I'm going to take some more yellow, mix it in with my orange, so I have a yellow orange. Here, if I want to make red orange, I'm going to take more red and mix it in with the orange that I had already mixed. So I have red orange. I'm going to work my way around my color wheel, adding more red to my violet. It's not very important to me that you stay in the lines as long as I can see a distinct difference between all of your colors. Here I would take blue and add it to my violet to get a blue violet. And here I would add more blue to the green that I've already mixed to get a blue green. There you have completed your color wheel. Next we're going to move on to our tints and shades. Here you have the definition of a tint, a change made to a color by adding white. You are going to create a tint scale using a primary color. So you're going to choose a primary color and add white in each box until it gets very, very light. So I'm going to do blue. I'm going to use blue right off of the palette. And then I'm going to take little bits of white and mix it in with my blue to keep it getting lighter as it goes across my page. You want a definite change in each box, a very evident change in each box, and you want it to be an equal step. So you don't want it to all of a sudden get really light. Think of it like stair stepping. You don't want to all of a sudden go up one step that's really, really big. You want your steps to be gradual and even. And it's the same thing with a value scale. So again, there is a definite change in each box. And they're pretty even going all the way across. Now, that's the easy one. A shade scale is a change made to a color by adding black. Black is a very strong color, so it's going to make a big change without a lot of paint. So if I'm going to start here with my primary color of red, I'm going to add tiny little itty bitty bits of black, and it's going to make a big difference. You can see I only used the very tip of my brush, and it already made a fairly significant difference in those two boxes. And you're going to keep going all the way across until eventually, my guess is that you'll get all the way to black. I think I need a little bit more red back there, but let's see what happens. So these two in the middle, to me, look pretty similar. So I want to go back and rework those a little bit. Still looking pretty similar to me. See, I'm not even immune to mistakes. But the nice thing about it is that you can usually fix it. There we go. That looks better. So now I have, again, even steps and a difference in each box. Down at the bottom now is where you get to have a little bit of fun with this. This is where we're going to be talking about color schemes. These are words that you should know: monochromatic, analogous, and complementary. If you forget what they mean, there are definitions here for you to remind you of what to do. You're going to use each of these color schemes and just create any design that you want. So first you're going to create a design using a monochromatic color scheme, which is several values of one color. For example, light blue, medium blue, and dark blue. You can do any kind of design you want. So if I'm going to go with blue, I'm going to add some white so it gets lighter toward here. I'm going to add some black so it gets darker out here. Maybe some more white. Some more blue. Any design you want, as long as you are only using one color with its tints and shades. I'm not mixing any other colors in there besides blue, black, and white. Okay? Next is your analogous color scheme. We've done this a lot, so this should be review for you. Analogous colors are colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel. For example, red, red violet, and violet. You're going to create any sort of design that you want below. So I'm going to start with red. I'm going to make some orange since I ran out before. I'm going to work my way out to yellow. Okay, so there is my analogous color scheme. Lastly, you're going to do a complementary color scheme. Complementary colors are colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel. For example, yellow and purple, blue and orange, or red and green. They are direct opposites. It's always a primary and a secondary. You're going to create a complementary design below. Being that it's almost Christmas, my design is going to have a little bit to do with Christmas. So that's all you have to do for this worksheet. When it's complete, put it on the drying rack. Please note that putting it on the drying rack does not mean that it's handed in for a grade. You need to make sure that once it's dry, it gets put in the basket, and then I can grade it.